Everything you need to know about the Honda Dax 125 in 5 minutes. This is a first in the new series of 5-minute reviews. There's also going to be a longer review as usual on this bike. Watch out for that too. But let's get started. Now, this Honda Dax 125 is massively nostalgic for me. I had one of these in the 1970s when I was a kid, and I used to ride around the farm tracks and what have you, and around the garden as well. It was a Honda ST70 at the time, which came out in 1969, and they stopped making them, I'm not sure when, sometime in the late 70s, and they've just brought this bike back in a 125cc version. It's a bit bigger than the original bike. It retails at £3,749 in the UK, and that's very good value for money because Hondas never go wrong. I mean, mine, I never put oil in it, I never did anything to it, I just rode it years ago. Obviously shouldn't do, but it never went wrong. This is a reincarnation of that bike. This engine's been going for many years and it's wonderful. So reliable. It's really great fun to ride. It's got a very short wheelbase, very small wheels. It's extremely nimble. So it's a perfect city bike. In and out of traffic, it's absolutely perfect. In and out of sheep in the countryside, it's absolutely perfect. At speed, I got to 60 miles an hour in it. I wouldn't want to go any faster than that, to be honest, because with that kind of wheelbase and small wheels, it could be twitchy at high speeds, but at low speeds, it's brilliant. So you won't have any problems there. Maneuvering is perfect. So with me sitting on the bike at 6'2", as I said, the riding position is really good. If you're smaller than me, it'd be even better. So it'd be ideally suited to someone probably 5'10", 5'9", 5'8". With such a lightweight bike, the brakes are very good on it. The engine's really good too. As I said, it's pretty bomb-proof. You've got 9.25 horsepower at 7,000 RPM and 10.8 Newton meters of torque at 5,000 RPM. That's 7.9 foot-pounds in America. Obviously, it's like any 125. They're not hugely powerful. When you're going uphill in first gear, it'll go up nicely, and you build the revs, change to second, and it does that. So the gap between the ratio of the first and second gear is quite big, but if you keep it in first gear on the steep hills, and they were pretty steep, the hills I've been going up today, it's fine. So that's just one thing I noticed. The gears are a bit weird. If you're used to a normal motorbike, it's not 1 down, 4 up or 3 up. It's 1 down, 2 down, 3 down, 4 down. So once you get used to that, that's fine. And having no clutch means it's ever so easy if it's your first bike. But if you're jumping from one bike to another, having the different gear shift pattern, you have to bear that in mind. In many respects, it's very similar to the Honda Monkey. The Monkey's got a tank here. On this one, you've got it under the seat, and on this one, you can take a pillion passenger as well. Now, I've been riding on very mucky roads today, and this little mudguard at the front with a flap at the bottom does the job pretty well. A bit of splashing on my feet, and it was extremely wet on the roads, as you'll see. But most of the engine is fairly clean. Just a bit at the sides there's got some mud splashes, so that's not too bad at all. Now with this, you can ride with a passenger on the back as well, because you've got the pillion pegs and the seat's a bit longer. And Monica's been on the back of this all day long and she's loved it. I rode this down a really bumpy farm track, and these little wheels, even though they've got big kind of fattish tyres, and the suspension was really good. It soaks the bumps up really well, so I was very impressed with that. So not only could you go on the road with this, of course, you can go off-road. As I said in the intro, I used to ride my one down the farm tracks when I was a kid, so they are brilliant. You can do anything with these. In fact, if we're going off in the countryside, I'd rather be on one of these than one of the big heavy adventure bikes, because they're so light. You can pick the front up and turn it around if you want to, and you'll turn around in no space whatsoever if you're going the wrong way. So they're brilliant for that. Styling wise, I think it looks really nice. It's a stunning looking bike, nothing like it on the planet. You've got this nice little round speedometer thing here, which is in LCD lights. It's a bit dim, hard to see actually. It looks kind of nice, but it would be even better with a proper analog one. But no complaints there. The mirrors are pretty bad for my height and my width. I could see very little of the road behind me, but for a normal sized person, you'll be fine. You've got a 3.8 litre fuel tank under the seat, and that sounds really small, but this bike is so economical, it's unbelievable. And that's one of the best things about these Hondas, they're brilliant. It will do 188 miles per gallon, that's UK gallons, or 156.8 US gallons, or 66.7 kilometres per litre. So in whichever language you're talking, it's brilliant fuel economy. And of course, they're Honda's official figures. In the real world, you probably won't get quite that much, and it depends how you ride, the weight, and then whether you're going uphill or carrying anything. But in some countries, you'll see a whole family sitting on one of these, you know, a kid at the front, mum and dad, and a plank of wood. So these bikes are brilliant. In the UK, we are restricted to a very high standard of health and safety, which means you can't do anything. So I do highly recommend this Honda Dax ST125. It's fantastic. It comes in red or grey. Get to your Honda dealership, you can buy it outright or you can buy it on finance monthly. It's brilliant. Check out Honda's clothes. They do some really cool retro stuff as well, like this hoodie. And look out for the longer review of this bike where I go into a bit more detail and ride to a few more different places, which is really interesting. You will see that in the future if you're watching it now, but if you're in the future, you'll see it right away. So see you on the next one. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.